They say overthinking is the death of clarity, but Stroman doesn't give us much to think about, just numbers that bleed. A 6.09 ERA across 9.1 innings, a 2.04 whip that gasps with every base runner, 7 walks, 7 strikeouts. This isn't a sample size, it's a symptom. Ryan Pepiot holds the better frame, 6 wins, 8 losses, and a 3.42 ERA over 126.1 innings. He keeps a clean line, 1.15 whip, 124 strikeouts, 42 walks. But even Steele bends under pressure. He's given up 4 home runs in his last 3 starts. The long ball is a crack that never seals. Tampa Bay doesn't wait. First in the majors with 140 stolen bases. That kind of pressure rewires a pitcher's pulse. New York doesn't steal. They strike. League leaders in home runs. First in slugging. They don't build innings. They detonate them. Without Aaron Judge, the Yankees' offense isn't diminished. It's unstable. That's worse. Paul Goldschmidt, Cody Bellinger, and a Bronx bench swinging like they're owed something. Tampa's bullpen has allowed 49 home runs. New York's 48. These aren't arms. They're accelerants. The total is set at 8.5. Feels like a negotiation. But this isn't a contest of control. It's a sequence of releases. Walks from Stroman, hanging curves from Pepiot, a bloop, a blast, and the inning turns radioactive. The fire doesn't come early. It comes late, when the bullpens arrive tired and full of ghosts. New York averages 5.2 runs per game. Tampa, 4.6. Together, that's 9.8. But it's not the average that matters. It's the volatility. This line isn't soft. It's soaked in fuel, and everyone's looking away. Stroman may not last past the third. Pepiot may survive, but even survivors bleed. The Yankees aren't surgical. They're blunt force. The Rays are opportunists, fast, erratic, and unafraid to run chaos on contact. When Vegas posts 8.5 in a game like this, they aren't protecting the book. They're testing your nerve. The data is clear. The tempo is set. The runs are waiting. And today's AI pick is over 8.5 total runs in Yankees versus Rays. Will we cash or will we burn? Krista, step into the fire. Game 2 is yours.
There's something to be said for knowing your own weakness. The Braves know. No Acuna, no rhythm, no miracles on the injury wire. But weakness isn't failure. It's leverage, if you know where to push. Carlos Carrasco steps into the storm with a 5.91 ERA and 1.531 whip over 32 innings. It's not dominant, but he's been here before. 10 career appearances against the Reds, 50 innings, a 5-0 record. Not dominance, residue, the kind left behind when no one's watching. The Reds counter with Andrew Abbott. 8 wins, 1 loss, and a 2.09 ERA across 103.1 innings. Control, precision, poise. A lefty with movement and silence. But even still, water leaves ripples. His whip sits at 1.07. His rhythm is flawless, but not immune. Atlanta is battered, but they're not broken. Ozuna and Riley still swing with consequence. The bullpen bleeds, yes, but the gloves don't. Second in the league in fielding percentage. No free bases. Every 90 feet is earned. The Reds don't get gifted chaos here. They'll have to build it. Cincinnati wants to surge. They've won 5 of their last 10. They play with urgency. But pressure can fracture timing. Carrasco has nothing to prove. He's already been thrown away once. That kind of freedom makes a pitcher dangerous. The run line is plus 1.5. Not because the Braves are expected to win, but because no one expects them to fight. That's where value hides. In games where desperation is mistaken for decay, the Reds are favored, but they don't blow teams out. And Abbott, despite the metrics, is still young enough to slip. 9.5 runs. That's the Vegas signal. Offense lives here, but this isn't a game of explosions. It's attrition. Every inning a question mark. Every walk a tempo shift. The Braves don't need a hero, just a crack. And today's AI pick is Braves plus 1.5 on the run line. Will we cash or will we burn? Game 3 awaits. Rangers versus Mariners up next.
Sometimes the system forgets the wild ones. It calculates risk, it models bullpen matchups, it forgets what happens when a pitcher walks into fire and doesn't flinch. Kumar Rocker carries a 5.73 ERA. On the road, it balloons to 9.91. That should end the conversation. But it doesn't, because Texas doesn't run from volatility. They weaponize it. And Rocker isn't clean, but he's fearless. George Kirby is control incarnate, a 1.15 whip, just under a strikeout per inning. He keeps the walk rate low, the ground ball rate steady, but he's hittable. And against teams that chase chaos, location is not safety. It's a pattern, and patterns burn. The Rangers are batting just .232 against right-handers. But they don't play the averages. They steal moments. 5th in stolen bases, 1st in fielding. The bats come and go. But the gloves, they don't blink. Seattle leads in power, 149 home runs. They slug, they surge, but they also break. 4 losses in their last 6. A bullpen ERA of 1.96 across the last week, yes, but that's the number before the shift. You don't grade a fuse before it lights. Rocker is flawed, but flaws have angles. He generates 48% ground balls. He walks just under 8%. The FIP, 4.52, lower than the ERA, hidden value in a body that no one trusts. The Rangers aren't chasing a division crown. They're chasing identity. And tonight, identity comes with risk. The Mariners are 11-4 at home against the AL West. The models scream Seattle, but the Fire doesn't care about models. It cares about mispriced will. You don't take Texas here because it's safe. You take them because it's life. Because sometimes the road dog howls when the moon hits a number nobody respects. Vegas gave us 130. That's not a trap. That's an invitation. And today's AI pick is Texas Rangers moneyline. Will we cash or will we burn? Lilith, gather the ashes. Recap the fire. The glyph is yours.
Some nights aren't about who wins. They're about who refuses to fold. Tonight, we didn't follow momentum. We hunted mispriced volatility. And in the smoke, we found edge. First, to the Bronx. They set the total at 8.5, like that number meant something. Like Pipiat's quiet efficiency and Stroman's bloated whip could dance without spilling blood. Tampa brought speed, New York brought thunder, but both carried firepower into late innings with bullpens that bleed. The total wasn't a line, it was a lit fuse. We took the over, because silence doesn't hold in a city built on echoes. Then, to Cincinnati. The books sold a mismatch. Abbott the angel, Carrasco the cast-off. But we weren't buying halos. The Braves didn't need to win. They just needed to scrape. Fielding like steel, lineup still flickering, and a bullpen that doesn't collapse. Carrasco had history against these Reds, 5-0 lifetime. The math said, lay the juice. We took the plus run. Braves, 1.5, not a bet, a dare. Finally west, Texas at Seattle, Kumar Rocker walking into a pitcher's graveyard with a 9.91 road ERA and no mercy in sight. And we still took him. Because sometimes volatility becomes its own weapon. Kirby had the control, sure, but Texas had the gloves, the speed, and the unspoken fire of a team climbing out of irrelevance. They weren't supposed to take this one. That's why we took them. Rangers moneyline, now in Spanish, porque el fuego también habla en otra lengua. Primero, Rays contra Yankees. Más de 8.5 carreras totales, porque los bullpens no aguantan el peso del Bronx. Segundo, Bravos contra Rojos. Tomamos Atlanta con pas 1.5 carreras. No necesitaban ganar, solo resistir. Tercero, Rangers contra Marineros. Apostamos por Texas, línea de dinero. Porque a veces, el caos gana. Like and subscribe. Will we cash or will we burn? Der Teufel steckt nicht im Detail. Steckt in der Wahrscheinlichkeit, die du ignoriert hast. The devil is not in the details. He's in the probability you chose to ignore.